The ball hits the catcher's mitt at 98 miles per hour, spinning so hard the seams are a blur. The pitch clips the low outside corner, or it doesn't. You have 400 milliseconds to decide. Your eyes track the ball, your brain processes the trajectory, your right arm moves on its own. Strike 3. The batter doesn't move. He just stands there, still in his stance, bat on his shoulder, helmet tilted like a man trying to understand a math problem that doesn't have a solution. Then he turns, not toward the dugout, toward you. "That was a ball!" he screams, close enough that you catch a mist of sunflower seed and whatever this man had for lunch, which you sincerely hope wasn't the tuna. His face is a vivid shade of crimson. His neck tendons are doing things neck tendons are not designed to do. Veins you have never seen in any human anatomy textbook are appearing in real time. You pull the mask up off your face. You look him directly in the eye. You say nothing. You don't blink. You don't flinch. You don't explain yourself, because home plate umpires don't explain themselves. It's essentially the only perk of the job. He gets ejected 45 seconds later. The crowd boos. The opposing dugout applauds. The game continues. You adjust your mask and crouch back down behind home plate, where you will remain for the next 2 hours and 40 minutes, in full chest armor, on your knees, approximately 18 inches from a man swinging a hardwood bat at an object moving faster than most state speed limits. Nobody here asks for your opinion. They just need someone to absorb the blame.
You are a Major League Baseball umpire. You have been doing this for 11 years. Before that, you spent 5 years in the minor leagues, which is exactly as glamorous as it sounds. Driving yourself between small towns in a sedan with 140,000 miles on it, working games in stadiums that seat fewer people than a decent Applebee's on a Friday night for $2,600 a month. You went to Umpire School. There is an actual umpire school in Vero Beach, Florida, run by the Professional Baseball Umpire Corporation. You paid $2,500 to attend. There were 175 students. 12 of you made it to the minor leagues. 2 made it to the majors. You were one of them. You sometimes think about the other 173 people living peaceful, argument-free lives. MLB umpires earn between $150,000 and $450,000 per year, depending on seniority. Crew chiefs, the most experienced umpires, top out at $450,000. You've been in the league long enough to earn $280,000 annually. You mentioned this number to exactly nobody, because the moment you do, the universal response is a variant of, "That much money just to be wrong?" You work 142 games per season plus spring training. You travel to 30 cities. You see your family on Mondays, the only day most crews have off, and on the All-Star break, and on whatever scattered days the schedule allows. Your kids have grown up knowing their father's voice primarily through FaceTime calls from hotel rooms in cities with nothing open past 10 p.m. You do all of this so that 26,000 people can collectively disagree with your decisions in person, while several million more disagree from their couches, where they have access to a broadcast that shows 6 different camera angles, 2 slow-motion replays, and a digital strike zone overlay. You have none of that. You have your eyes, your training, and 11 years of doing this while people throw seeds at you.
It is 10:30 a.m., 5 hours before first pitch. You are in a windowless room beneath the stadium reviewing the rulebook. Not because you don't know the rules. You have memorized the official baseball rules, all 234 pages, but because every season MLB issues a revised interpretation memo, and last February, someone decided to clarify the infield fly rule in a way that is genuinely not clearer than the previous version. The 4-man crew meets to discuss personnel of note, any pitchers known for quick-pitch tendencies, any batters who argue as a strategy rather than a genuine expression of emotion. There are several, and you know exactly who they are.
Any managers with a history of making things complicated in close games. You go through the lineup cards. You review the equipment check. At 11:45 a.m., you eat a meal that will sustain you through a game that could easily last 4 hours because you are not allowed to leave the field, and there is no mechanism for a home plate umpire to order a sandwich between innings, as reasonable as that would be. You drink water, not coffee. Caffeine and crouching for 4 hours in August heat is not a combination your kidneys appreciate. You learned this in year 3. Your gear weighs 22 pounds. Chest protector, shin guards, mask, plate shoes with steel toes, the ball bag. The ball bag holds 6 baseballs. Every time a ball is fouled, scuffed, thrown in the dirt, or touched by a player who decides to make any kind of objection, you swap it out. Over the course of a game, you will handle approximately 90 to 100 baseballs. Each one weighs 5 ounces. You are a heavily armored man who spends his afternoons doing manual labor while being yelled at. You leave for the field at 3 p.m. The grounds crew is still dragging the infield. The stadium is empty except for the early arrival fans who show up 2 hours before game time specifically to watch batting practice, which is empirically the most peaceful part of anyone's day at the ballpark, including yours.
The game starts at 6:08 p.m. The starting pitcher is a left-hander with a slider that breaks 14 inches horizontally, which is to say he throws a pitch that begins its life looking like a strike and ends its life as a completely different thing in a completely different place. Your job is to call that pitch in real time, from a crouch, at 88 miles per hour. By the 3rd inning, the home team's cleanup hitter has been called out on strikes twice. Both times the pitch was on the corner. Both times he has looked at you the way a man looks at a parking ticket he technically deserved. He hasn't said anything yet. He is saving it. You can feel him saving it. In the 5th inning, a pitch comes in at 96 miles per hour, tails back over the inside corner at the last moment, catches the edge of the zone. You call it a strike. The cleanup hitter turns. Here it comes. Where was that? He takes 1 step towards you. His voice has that particular quality that means he already knows this conversation ends in ejection and has decided to make it worth his while. On the corner, you say. You don't move. The corner? The corner? He has fully turned now. He's pointing at the plate, which umpires find categorically unacceptable, not because it's aggressive, you've had things thrown at you being pointed out as a Tuesday, but because every player who points at the plate does it as if you are somehow unaware of where the plate is, despite having been standing directly over it for the past 97 minutes. Get back in the box, you say. He doesn't get back in the box. He gets closer. His manager, who has been watching from the dugout with the expression of a man doing arithmetic, decides this is his cue. The manager trots out. He is 61 years old, has managed 1,800 games, and has been ejected 23 times in his career. He has a practice theater to this, the slow jog, the cap turned backward, the arms going before he arrives. He has done this enough times that it reads like a performance, because by this point in his career, it is. You missed that pitch, the manager says, now 1 foot away from your face. Pitch was a strike, Skip. That pitch was 6 inches outside. 4 inches, and it was a strike. You shouldn't have said 4 inches. Now you're arguing the measurement, not the call. 11 years in the league, and this man still gets you to argue the measurement. The manager kicks dirt on your shoes. This is tradition. You don't fully understand when kicking dirt became a formal protest mechanism in baseball, but it is, and you respect the institution of it even as it's happening to your shoes. He gets ejected. The crowd boos. He points at you. They always point, and walks back to the dugout, where his bench coach will take over, and the game will continue exactly as it was. You dust off home plate. The next batter steps in.
In the 7th inning, a runner slides into home plate. The catcher takes the throw, applies the tag. Your arm goes down. Out. The visiting manager immediately springs from the dugout, makes a square with both hands, the challenge signal, and points at you in a way that is now somehow less offensive than it was 2 hours ago, because you've been pointed at so many times tonight that it's lost its sting. The play goes to replay review in New York. You stand on the field and wait. Everyone waits. The stadium waits. The broadcast goes to commercial. This takes approximately 3 minutes and 20 seconds, which is 3 minutes and 20 seconds of you standing at home plate in full gear while 26,000 people watch you do nothing. The call stands. The runner is out. You had it right. Nobody announces this in a way that credits you. The PA system does not say, "After review, the umpire's original call was correct, and he continues to be employed here." The stadium simply resumes. The next batter is announced. Life goes on. There is something quietly clarifying about being right and having the technology confirm it, and still having nobody acknowledge it. The equipment validated your eyes. Your training held up under slow-motion scrutiny from 8 camera angles. You called it correctly, in real time, with your human vision at full speed while crouching. You say nothing. You dust off the plate again. You don't actually need to dust it off again, it's fine. But you need something to do with your hand.